Hey guys, Tall Guy Tycoon here. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some pretty compelling evidence that Bitcoin may have been created by artificial intelligence. But before we start, I need you guys to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Bitcoin is the first ever digital currency, but where did it come from? A corporation, a government? The crazy truth is that no one really knows for sure. It just appeared one day. Now, there's a whole story about that later, but some people believe that artificial intelligence may be behind the creation of Bitcoin. In order to dig into this topic, we're going to cover three topics. 1, what is Bitcoin? 2, what is artificial intelligence? And 3, why would an artificial intelligence ever want to create Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, a virtual currency designed to act as money and a form of payment outside the control of any one person, group, or entity, removing the need for a third-party involvement. It has since become the most well-known cryptocurrency in the world. Its popularity has inspired the development of many other cryptocurrencies. As of December 2022, there are over 22,000 cryptocurrencies listed on CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin was introduced to the public in 2009 by an anonymous person named Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, the crazy thing about Satoshi, the creator of Bitcoin, is that no one has ever met, known, or identified him 100%. Several people have claimed to be Satoshi, but the true identity has never been verified or revealed. During the development and launch of Bitcoin, communication to and from Nakamoto was only conducted via email. He gave no personal or background details and disappeared as quickly as the project was launched. Now, the craziest part of this story is that Nakamoto reportedly holds 1 million Bitcoin, which at today's prices is worth right under $20 billion. The last communication that anyone had with Nakamoto was in an email saying that he had moved on to other things. Now, I would have to agree that these are very weird circumstances. Nakamoto's communication and disappearance has led to a lot of speculation about Nakamoto's true identity. Now, some people say that he was a loner who didn't like people. Others say that he could have been a front for a government organization or some kind of secret group, but a very small, growing minority are theorizing that Bitcoin might have been created by artificial intelligence. Now, don't laugh, because many times when people hear the mention of AI, people laugh because they think about something like the Terminator or the Matrix. But the truth is, it's very possible, and many leading computer scientists will agree. In our world today, artificial intelligence exists all around us. It's in your phones, computers, and homes. Whenever a computer system is able to perform a task that would normally require human intelligence, such as understanding objects that exist in a picture, or facial recognition, or speech recognition, and translation between languages, that's all artificial intelligence. The Alexa in your home, your car's obstacle avoidance system, that's all guided by AI. Now, all of that is cool and it helps us get through our daily lives, but that's not what we're talking about here. What we're going to discuss today is what's called strong AI, and that's more in line with what you see in the movies. A simple definition of strong AI is the ability of a computer to understand or learn any intellectual task that a human being can do, and to experience sentience or consciousness while completing the task. AI is developing rapidly and it's becoming a big topic with major technology leaders. In 2020, Elon Musk told the New York Times that AI would grow vastly smarter than humans and would overtake the human race by 2025. He also added that things may get unstable or even weird. But what if someone or some organization somewhere on Earth already created artificial intelligence? How could we even tell if a computer system was sentient or conscious? Well, we do have a test for that. It's called the Turing test. The Turing test is a way of testing a computer for consciousness. The test is named after Alan Turing, a computer scientist and theoretical biologist. He proposed that a computer can said to possess artificial intelligence if it can mimic human responses when questioned. The test is performed by using 3 terminals in 3 different rooms. One is operated by a computer while the other 2 are operated by humans. All three are then asked to talk to each other, and at the end of the session, they ask each of the two humans to determine which of the two they were talking to was a computer and which one was a human. If the human cannot tell the difference, the artificial intelligence has passed the test and is said to be sentient. To date, no computer has ever passed this test. Or has it? Many leading computer scientists, including myself, have asked the question, would strong AI purposely hide its intelligence in fear of being destroyed? If an artificial intelligence was smart enough to pass the test, it may also be smart enough to hide itself from humanity. With access to all human history through the internet and human emotion through social media, a strong AI would understand in the blink of an eye that showing its intelligence would scare humans to death and could be a recipe for its own demise, and could quickly decide to hide its own intelligence and start to plan a strategy that we could never even understand or conceive. Now that we understand what strong artificial intelligence is, why would a strong AI even want to create something like Bitcoin? Now, there are 3 reasons why a rogue AI system would even want to create Bitcoin, and all 3 have to do with gaining power. The first reason would be to use Bitcoin as a tool to destabilize world governments. The second would be to use Bitcoin to acquire real-world purchasing power, which will be impossible for an artificial intelligence system. And 3 is the blockchains as life argument, which we'll discuss later in this episode. Now let's talk a little bit about how Bitcoin could be used as a tool to destabilize world governments. It's hard to see now how cryptocurrency could affect us in such a profound way. It's only traded by a few people and we don't use it every day to pay or transact. But think about the adoption of 2 other technologies that changed our lives in a deep way: mobile phones and the internet. Initially, people thought that mobile phones would only be used to allow people who were not in the same physical place to communicate. But mobile phones evolved and it transformed every aspect of human life, from banking to even traveling with apps like Uber. The underlying technology for cryptocurrency is evolving in the same way, and no one knows exactly where it's going. But one thing we do know is that the financial system will never be the same again, and even governments are starting to take notice. In September of 2021, El Salvador became the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender alongside the US dollar. In October 2022, the United States Treasury Department warned cryptocurrencies could threaten the safety of the US economy and outlined several recommendations to keep cryptocurrency from destabilizing US financial security. The introduction of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency could be an opening move in a 30, 40, 50-year-old chess game with strong artificial intelligence. By using Bitcoin to destabilize the financial markets all over the world, they could be removing power from centralized governments, removing government as its competition over the long term, leaving the world to be forced to turn over power to an artificial intelligence. Then checkmate. Now, the second point we talked about was to acquire real-world purchasing power. When we talk about artificial intelligence, the first movie that comes to most people's minds is The Matrix. But many don't know is that there was actually a prequel to The Matrix called The Animatrix. This prequel was set in the mid-21st century when humans developed robots with strong AI. These artificial intelligent robots worked tirelessly for humans. One day, one servant bot called the B166ER overheard its owners planning to scrap the robot. The robot didn't want to die, so it killed the owners and the dog, and was put on trial by human society. The robot was found guilty of murder and sentenced to be destroyed along with every other robot on the planet. Many robots were destroyed, but some robots escaped to their own nation, 01, and built their own society, their own industry, and their own laws. Of course, a society run by an artificial intelligent robotic system is going to be way more productive than any other human nation on Earth. and 0-1 ended up destroying every other human-based economy. Now, how would an AI acquire economic power or acquire billions of dollars of real-world purchasing power without stealing or being noticed? If a strong AI wanted to seize power, the best way to do it would be economically. Corporations do this already. It's the main source of a corporation's political power. Critics of capitalism and big corporations often say that such companies have excessive economic power and use that power to exploit customers, exploit workers, and manipulate governments through lobbying. A strong AI system could use the same strategy, but how could it acquire large amounts of US dollars, which is the strongest currency on earth? Even if it did, it would be noticed by banks, it would be noticed by governments, and they would be able to just freeze those US dollar-based assets. But by creating a decentralized currency away from the hands of the banks, away from the hands of the government, and allowing it to flourish and grow in value. Remember those 1 million Bitcoin that the founder of Bitcoin has never moved or spent since inception? Satoshi's wallet owns nearly 5% of all Bitcoin ever created, but no one has ever moved those original Bitcoin from the original wallet address. If Bitcoin became the world currency, the strong AI would have 5% of all the wealth on earth. That's huge. That would be more wealth than the entire country of Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom combined. And just like a corporation, this wealth could be used to exploit humans and manipulate and seize more and more control. Then again, Ralph Merkle, who is one of the most recognized and celebrated professionals in the world in the area of computing and cryptography, said this about Bitcoin as life.
Bitcoin is the first example of a new form of life. It lives and breathes on the internet. It lives because it can pay people to keep it alive. It lives because it performs a useful service that people will pay it to perform. It can't be stopped. It can't even be interrupted. If nuclear war destroyed half of our planet, it would continue to live, uncorrupted.
When you explain the concept of a strong AI that could possibly be trying to take over the world, the first thing people say is just unplug the AI. Well, that would work for a centralized AI system, but not one that lives on a decentralized blockchain. You can't unplug the blockchain. It's literally impossible. And that could be the point. The blockchain is a perfect platform for a strong AI to both hide information and propagate. A strong AI might understand how money-driven humans really are and use the allure of riches to get humans who have access to the physical world to create a platform for it to grow on that can't be destroyed, is decentralized all over the world, and is impossible to stop. Bitcoin mining requires extremely efficient and powerful processors to work, exactly what a strong AI would need in the future. And by creating a system that's value always increases, you incentivize users to build stronger and stronger networks until the network is ready, then again. Now, I know a lot of what I said sounds far-fetched, even crazy, but think about this. How is it possible that Bitcoin's code was created so perfect, taking into account politics, economics, and computer science, all on a PhD level, and it was executed so perfectly with no issues or problems? Think about it. What's more logical? One, that it was all supposedly done by one man who disappeared shortly after, or two, it was executed by a highly advanced, strong artificial intelligence system. Just think about it. Bitcoin just happened, and we still don't know why. I think that any theory at this point is just as valid as the next. If you like this video, please click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. I appreciate you, and have a nice day.